Sometimes it feels like the doors of your life are locked tight. You've prayed, you've cried, you've done everything you know how to do, yet nothing seems to move. The silence feels heavy. The waiting feels endless. You start to wonder if you've been forgotten, if maybe your prayers got lost somewhere between heaven and earth. But hear me, even while you wait, something is happening. Even when you can't see it, the one who created time itself is working behind the scenes, preparing a path that's far greater than what you imagined. You may feel like you're standing still, but heaven is in motion. Every delay, every detour, every silent season has purpose. Looks like a pause is often divine preparation. Sometimes, what feels like a closed door is simply protection, because you're not ready yet, or what's waiting for you needs more time to develop. Waiting isn't wasted when it's in the hands of the one who knows the end from the beginning. When you're waiting, your faith is being refined, your patience is being strengthened, your trust is being deepened. You're being shaped into someone who can handle the blessing that's coming. The waiting season isn't punishment, it's training. Just because you can't see progress doesn't mean there isn't movement. Roots grow underground before trees break the surface. In the same way, unseen growth is taking place inside you. It's easy to trust when everything's working, but real faith is built when nothing seems to be. That's where you learn to believe without evidence, to praise without results, to keep walking even when the path isn't clear. That's when your relationship with the divine becomes real, not based on feelings or outcomes, but on trust. The waiting is where faith becomes mature, strong, and unshakable. So if you're in the middle of that waiting season right now, don't give up. Don't think that silence means absence. Something powerful is being aligned in your favor. The right people, the right timing, the right opportunity, it's all coming together. You may not see the way yet, but there is a way. The one who parts seas and moves mountains hasn't forgotten you. Your story isn't stuck. It's being written. And when the time is right, when everything that needed to align has come into place, the doors will open. The path will clear. What once seemed impossible will unfold effortlessly. You'll look back and realize the waiting wasn't wasted. It was necessary. Because while you were waiting, a way was being made. And it will be far better than you ever hoped, dreamed, or prayed for. Just because you can't see movement doesn't mean nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. There are moments in life when it feels like heaven has gone silent. When your prayers echo back unanswered and the doors you're knocking on remain shut. You start to wonder if your faith has failed or if you've been forgotten. But the truth is, even in the silence, divine power is still at work. The same presence that spoke the universe into existence is working behind the scenes of your life, arranging every detail in perfect order. What feels like stillness to you is often strategic movement from above. Sometimes what you call a delay is really divine timing. You see only what's in front of you, but the one who holds your destiny sees the whole picture, past, present, and future. If you received everything you asked for exactly when you asked for it, you'd miss out on the beauty of growth, the strength of patience, and the wisdom that waiting brings. The silence isn't a punishment, it's preparation. While you wait, things are shifting in the unseen realm. People are being positioned, opportunities are being formed, and hearts are being softened to align with your purpose. Think about the seed planted in the ground. You don't see anything happening above the surface, but beneath the soil, roots are growing, foundations are forming, and life is taking shape. That's exactly how it is in your waiting season. Something powerful is developing beneath the surface of your circumstances, and when the time is right, that hidden growth will burst forth in ways that will surprise you. It takes faith to trust when you can't see. It takes strength to believe when nothing looks like it's working. But that's where real faith is built. Not in the answered prayer, but in the silent in-between. So don't mistake silence for absence. Don't let impatience steal your peace. Just because you don't hear movement doesn't mean there isn't any. You are not stuck. You are being strategically positioned. Heaven is still working, even when you can't see the evidence. The silence isn't empty. It's full of purpose. And one day you'll see that everything you thought was still was actually in motion the entire time. Waiting is one of the hardest tests of faith because it challenges our sense of control. Alpha. We live in a world that celebrates speed and instant results, but divine timing doesn't follow human schedules. Waiting seasons are not wasted seasons. They are sacred classrooms where strength, maturity, and trust are developed. When you're waiting, it can feel like you're stuck or forgotten, but in reality, you're being shaped. What you call a delay is often divine preparation for what's next. Every purpose comes with a process, and that process always includes waiting. You can't rush what's being refined. Just like gold must pass through fire to be purified, your faith must pass through waiting to be proven. It's in the waiting that you learn patience. It's in the waiting that you learn to lean, not on your own understanding, but on the one who knows what's best for you. Waiting season tests whether your trust is based on what you see or on what you believe. It reveals whether your hope is rooted in results or in faith itself. During the wait, it may feel like nothing is happening, but in truth, everything is happening, just not yet visible. The unseen is where the most important work is done. You're being stretched, strengthened, and prepared to handle what you've been praying for. If blessings come too soon, they can break you. But when you're ready, they can build you. The waiting room is not a place of punishment, it's a place of preparation. You are being equipped for what's coming next. Many times we pray for the promise but forget that the process is what makes us capable of keeping it. Waiting builds discipline. Waiting deepens gratitude. Waiting refines your vision so that when the door finally opens, you'll know how to walk through it with wisdom, not pride. The delay is not denial, it's design. Every moment in the waiting is working something good in you. Patience, endurance, humility, and faith that can't be shaken by circumstances. So when it feels like time is standing still, remember this: growth is happening in places you cannot see. You are not behind. You are becoming. The waiting is not empty. It's full of purpose. And when the time is right, everything that was prepared in silence will bloom in its season. Sometimes what feels like rejection is really divine protection. We often get frustrated when doors close, plans fall apart, or relationships end unexpectedly. It feels painful, confusing, and unfair. But what if that closed door wasn't a loss? What if it was mercy in disguise? There are moments when you're asking for something that looks good on the surface, but only the one who sees the whole picture knows that it could destroy your peace, your purpose, or your growth. What feels like rejection is often redirection, a gentle reroute away from something that wasn't meant for you towards something far greater. It's natural to feel disappointed when things don't go your way. You might cry, question, and even doubt for a moment. With time, you begin to see what you couldn't see before. That what didn't work out actually worked for your good. The opportunity that passed you by wasn't meant to carry you. The relationship that ended wasn't designed to stay. The door that shut wasn't closing you out. It was closing out what wasn't meant to go with you into your next season. Every no has a purpose. Every detour carries direction. Sometimes protection doesn't come wrapped in comfort. It comes disguised as disappointment. The divine knows what lies ahead, what could harm you, and what you're not yet ready for. While you're crying over what you lost, heaven is shielding you from what you don't even see. What you call rejection, heaven calls rescue. You think something was taken from you, but something better is being prepared for you. The truth is, you can't always trust what looks right. You have to trust the one who knows what is right. That's why certain people walk away. Why certain doors refuse to open. Why certain dreams take longer than expected. Because they're not part of the story written for your future. When you look back, you'll realize that every closed door was protecting your destiny, preserving your peace, and preparing you for something higher. So when things don't go as planned, don't lose heart. Trust that rejection is not the end. It's the redirection that leads you closer to where you're truly meant to be. Sometimes being shut out is the greatest way to be set apart for something greater. Faith isn't proven when everything is working out. It's proven when nothing seems to be. Real faith is forged in the fire of waiting, in the seasons of silence, and in the moments when you can't see any evidence of progress. It's easy to believe when life is going according to plan, but the strength of your belief shows itself when everything around you says, give up. That's when you find out if your trust is rooted in circumstances or in conviction. True faith isn't built on what you see. It's built on what you know in your heart, that even when life looks uncertain, heaven is still in control. When you're in a waiting season, it's tempting to let doubt take over. You start to question everything. Did I hear right? Did I make a mistake? Is this even worth it anymore? But faith isn't the absence of questions. It's the decision to trust even when the questions remain unanswered. It's choosing to believe in the promise when there's no proof yet. It's standing firm in hope when the evidence around you says there's none. That's what separates those who only believe when it's easy from those who walk by faith, no matter what. Every great move of destiny requires this kind of faith. The kind that holds on in the dark. The kind that keeps showing up, keeps praying, keeps expecting, even when it feels pointless. Because faith that has never been tested can't be trusted. Waiting seasons refine your faith, stripping away everything shallow until all that's left is a deep, unshakable trust. This is where you stop depending on emotions and start depending on truth. It's where you stop needing to see to believe, because you've learned that believing is what brings the unseen into reality. So while you wait, don't let discouragement win. Keep your faith alive, even if it's just a whisper. Every time you choose to trust in silence, you strengthen your spirit. Every time you praise instead of panic, you grow. Faith isn't proven in the outcome, it's proven in the endurance. The waiting is not your weakness, it's your training ground. And when the breakthrough comes, you'll realize that faith wasn't what got you the blessing. Faith was what kept you standing until it arrived. When the time is right, everything falls into place. The doors that once seemed locked suddenly swing open. The opportunities that felt far out of reach start finding their way to you. What once felt delayed begins to make perfect sense because divine timing is never late, always precise. You may have cried, waited, and wondered why things were taking so long, but when the right moment arrives, you'll see that every delay had a purpose. Nothing was random. Every step, every pause, every disappointment was part of a perfect alignment that prepared you for what was coming. The breakthrough doesn't happen when you're ready for it. It happens when everything connected to your destiny is ready. Sometimes it takes time for the people, places, and circumstances around you to align with what's been promised. That's why rushing never helps. The divine doesn't work according to your schedule. It works according to seasons. When the right season arrives, what once seemed impossible becomes effortless. The opportunity you were chasing will start chasing you. The path that felt blocked will clear without force. It's a beautiful thing when you realize that the waiting wasn't wasted, it was working. The time you spent praying, growing, healing, and believing wasn't in vain. It was preparing you to recognize the blessing when it finally appeared. Because sometimes if things come too early, we don't have the maturity or strength to handle them. Timing isn't just about when you're ready to receive. It's about when the world around you is ready to support it. When the appointed moment comes, everything will make sense. The pain that once confused you will turn into clarity. The tears that felt meaningless will reveal their purpose. You'll see that the season of waiting, though difficult, was shaping something powerful within you. The divine timing is always strategic. It knows when to open doors, when to bring connections, and when to reveal answers. So don't be discouraged if it hasn't happened yet. The silence doesn't mean denial, it means alignment. When the time is right, things will unfold so smoothly that you'll wonder why you ever doubted. You'll realize that while you were waiting, the way was being made, and it was worth every second of the wait. So here you are, in the waiting, in the wondering, in that space between the promise and the fulfillment. Maybe you've prayed, believed, and held on longer than you ever thought you could. Maybe the silence feels heavy and you're starting to question if things will ever change. But this is not the end. The silence is not a sign of abandonment. It's a setup for something greater. While you wait, heaven is weaving every detail together. The delays, the detours, the disappointments, none of them are wasted. Every moment has been preparing you for the doors that are about to open. You've learned that silence doesn't mean nothing is happening. You've discovered that waiting is not wasted. It's preparation. You've begun to see that closed doors can actually be divine protection. And you've realized that faith isn't proven when it's easy, but when it's tested in the dark. All of it, every tear, every trial, every unanswered question has been shaping you for the season that's coming. The story isn't over. It's unfolding exactly as it should. So don't give up now. Don't lose heart in the middle of the process. Keep standing, keep believing, keep trusting. Even if nothing around you seems to be moving, know that something above you is. You may not see the way, but the way is being made. You may not understand the timing, but the timing is perfect. And when that moment comes, when everything finally clicks, when what you've been waiting for meets you face to face, you'll realize why you had to wait, why you had to grow, and why it couldn't happen any sooner. Your waiting has not been in vain. The one who began this work in you is still working, so lift your head, strengthen your faith, and keep walking forward with expectancy. The doors are opening. The pieces are coming together. The breakthrough is already in motion. Even now, right now, a way is being made. Trust that what's coming will be worth every second of your patience. The wait was never empty. It was the path to something extraordinary.